Grand Arising Soul Fam. My name is Sheena with the Way of Namaste, and this is our community prayer circle. So every Sunday, we come on and we create a unified field. We tap into the energetics of the week, and then we share some energies of peace and of love that we've cultivated from within out to humanity, to our shared fabric of reality. So, as always, we like to begin by just creating sacred space. Creating sacred space looks like arriving, grounding, taking a deep breath or a few deep breaths, getting something to sip on. Because this is a prayerful space, it's always nice to bring a beverage so that we can actually ingest, consume these prayers. We have so many amazing people out there that have really discovered the science around our water, the living consciousness of water. We are more than 70% water. And so this gene key that we're in this week is the shadow of turbulence. And it's about weathering the storm, being in the emotional storms and learning how to be big wave surfers, coasting over the top, feeling the turbulence, but sticking with it rather than getting completely catapulted by the emotional storm. It's not an easy thing to navigate right now. We might be having really big feelings. I've got some air purifiers in the background. I hope they're not too noisy. I know Zoom does a pretty good job of eliminating some of the background noise, but I just want to call that into our sacred space. Just being mindful of our sensory experiences here, that we might have some airs turning on, turning off. So I always like to sage. This is one way that I create sacred space, as I allow my senses to be online, the sense of smell. You know, one of the things that gets activated when we are in our awakening journey is higher levels of sensitivity. And this can come through our psychic sense of smell. You may have noticed this. You may have had a comfortable smell that comes to you when you are smelling things or feeling things that are creating peace in your body. Maybe you are smelling things that don't smell so good, that are creating upset in your body. A lot of these clairs that we activate as we become more highly sensitive with our environment through our awakening journey is the activation of our psychic senses. That's what our clairs are. And so I know for me, I get a psychic sense of smell around teammates, my shared humanity, people that are embodying compassion. And this is one way that it's my indicator, my little body's nervous system alert that these are our people. So it's really interesting how our body is indicating things to us all the time. So this week I feel called to share from the Wisdom Keeper's Inner Guidebook the oracle story for this week's gene key. Collectively, we're moving through gene key 36. It's a Pisces archetype, and it is the shadow of turbulence, the gift of humanity, and the city or the divine essence of compassion. And within this gene, we are reminded, we are invited to have compassion for ourselves, to recognize that emotions are energy in motion. So some days we might feel good, some days we might feel the turbulence of the collective. So our invitation is to be compassionate with what is moving through us, what is moving through one another. So this week I am sharing the oracle story. This is coming from Rosie Aronson's deck, The 64 Faces of Awakening. And this is the gene key story of what we're moving through right now. It's the gift of humanity. And it starts off with a Richard Rudd quote that says, "The deepest role of the 36th gift is to help humans to become human by respecting others and by embracing your own suffering, whatever it looks like." My wisdom story. The world expected my father to be a bad seed, so he became one. He cheated on my mother, he had a bad temper, and he created chaos wherever he went. Like many of the men in our neighborhood, he was reckless, always pushing the limit, getting into trouble, and attracting crisis after crisis. He didn't mean to hurt us, which is probably why he hid so much from us, and why he begged for forgiveness when my mother and grandmother finally kicked him out. My mother and grandmother were strong women who did their best to raise and protect me. Their task wasn't easy given our turbulent neighborhood, where the police frightened us as much as the gangs. I witnessed more tragedies than a young boy ever should. I also watched the news and saw how men like my father were perceived. I promised myself I'd never be like him or cause the pain he caused. As a teen, if I felt anger or lust, I'd go with my grandmother to church and pray for my sins to be taken away. But over time, the stress got to me, and my nervousness gave me tics. Though inside I was sensitive and caring, I avoided eye contact with people and appeared shifty. I was hard to reach and had few friends, although there was one girl in my church who I secretly fancied. Too shy to approach her, I followed her home one day, hid in the bushes, and peeked in her window. She saw someone in the bushes and she called the police. Imagine the shame I felt when my poor mother and grandmother had to come to the jail to bail me out. The charges were dropped as soon as the girl discovered who it was, but I was still required to meet with a social worker. Something in his eyes reassured me that he'd been there. He knew suffering deep in his bones. He didn't just see the terror, the shame, or the nervousness in me. He saw the good seed. It was a strange and amazing experience to have a man encourage me to talk about my feelings. I knew instantly that I'd one day come to do exactly what he did. I'd see the good seed in everyone I met. I'd look straight into their eyes and let them know with my whole heart that they were okay, exactly how they were, no matter what they felt, what they looked like, or where they came from. My gift to you. I come to celebrate your humanity, to remind you of your innate goodness, and to reassure you that there is no feeling in you that is inherently wrong or bad. No matter what you've done or experienced in life, you are innocent at your core. What matters now is not what you feel, but what you do with your feelings. I ask you, please don't reject your feelings or react to them. Simply acknowledge and embrace any emotional turbulence within you with compassion. Nervousness is only a sign that you have some feelings that need to be seen and embraced. Do not run from your pain, for along with your pain comes a great deal of pleasure. So this week we are invited to be compassionate with our feelings, with whatever feelings that we're navigating. And can we have that compassion for one with ourselves, knowing that some days will show up better than other days? This portal, as always, is an invitation for us to come to a place where we just notice what we notice, a place where we come into a shared sacred space. Our shared humanity comes into a place of silence. And maybe we give something, a silent transmission to that space. Maybe we receive something from that space. But really what it is it's an opportunity to notice what you notice when you stop and you come to a place of quiet and of stillness. And it's a place where we notice the emotional storms that are happening within us. Some days the waters may be gentle, and some days the waters may be turbulent. And can we be compassionate with what we experience without punishing ourselves for the way that we're feeling? But noticing that when we can accept the way that we're feeling, then we can maintain a sense of peace rather than chasing happiness, knowing that happiness is a fleeting emotion. Some days we'll feel happy, some moments we'll feel happy, but it would be unkind of us to expect ourselves to feel happy in every moment, in every day, because we are energy in motion and our emotions are these waves that we move through. So some days we might feel turbulent. And can we be compassionate with ourselves on the days that we don't have the high peak experience of bliss and ecstasy and joy? Can we still love ourselves when we're navigating some of that turbulence? So as we prepare to come into our 11:11 portal, let's go ahead and just invite ourselves to be with our breath. Going ahead and taking the deepest breath that we've taken all day long, in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And in this field of silence, we'll simply notice, is there an emotional storm within us? And can we big wave surf the waves without expecting ourselves to change or be different? So let's go ahead and enter our shared field of silence. Taking another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe keeping your eyes softened or gently closed as we come into our group soul, our aligning, attuning, and allowing practice. And here we continue to take deeper breaths, continuing to become aware of how we are being breathed today, how spirit is moving through us today, without needing to change it or fix it or overanalyze it. Just noticing if our breath is shallow or if our breath is deep, and seeing if we can consciously take some deeper breaths, expanding the lower belly and allowing the oxygen to travel all the way through us. And on our next exhale, in our own time and rhythm, invitation to breathe right into the heart chakra. Feeling this emerald ray beginning to emanate from the back of the heart out through the front of the heart like a Care Bear stare. And here we begin to grow a field of unconditional love from my heart to your heart, from your heart back into our temple space together. And just beginning to rest in this field of unconditional love that we generate, that we co-create together. And on your next exhale, in your own time, your own breath and rhythm, we'll breathe right into the ajna, the space between the brows. And here we may see, sense, feel, or perceive an amethyst or indigo ray emanating right out from that third eye. Perhaps feeling the emanation of my ajna, emanating that indigo amethyst ray right into the space. Feeling your amethyst indigo ray connecting with that space. And here we open a field together of unconditional, living and infused wisdom from soul to soul, in a space where we see with our real eyes, seeing one another clearly. And on our next breath, in our own time, in our own breath, we'll move from body, from mind to soul. We'll connect with our soul star, the halo above our heads, our crown chakra. And here I invite you to begin to see, to sense, to feel, or to perceive a light. And maybe this light is a diamond light that cascades all the fractals of the rainbow. Maybe this light is white light, or maybe it's glowing gold, knowing that there's no wrong way to see what you see, to perceive what you perceive. But here we actively allow the light to come in as it pours down from our celestial realms. Using our imagination, we allow this light to drip all the way down our chakra system. It meets the amethyst ray at the ajna. It coats this blue gem at the throat chakra, activating our seat of authenticity. It comes down over the heart chakra, meeting with that emerald ray. It comes down over the solar plexus, this place of divine will. And then feeling this light as it comes down through the belly, the womb space, the digestive tract, comes down through our sacral chakras, a place of our creativity, of our fertility, of our sexuality. And then allowing this light to come down through our root chakra, the space of connection, of safety, of belonging. And just allowing this light to wash over every feeling that you may be feeling, every storm that you may be navigating. And allowing now, through the generosity of your spirit, for this diamond light to cascade all the way down through the soles of your feet into the souls of Pachamama. And here you may see, sense, feel, or perceive yourself emanating in this light from mind, body, and spirit, as within, so without, fully coated in this glowing light that may even have a sensation to it. It may feel like warmth. It may feel like love. It may feel like connection. And just noticing what you notice here. And on this next exhale, we'll simultaneously travel through this vertical pillar of light that we've created to our source and our center self. And as we connect with our source self, we'll feel the timeless flame of our origin, the source that created us, our higher self, our multi-dimensional self, the one that lives outside of time and space, the one that sees, witnesses, observes everything, the one that does not attach to a fleeting feeling, but notices it, witnesses it, as it witnesses its thoughts. It's not the originator of the thoughts, it's the one that perceives the thoughts. It's not the originator of the feeling, but the one that perceives the feeling. And just allowing this higher self to become fully activated, fully present, which allows the ego in this moment to rest. That ego, that thinking brain, that feeling brain, just allowing it a moment of rest, where it too can turn on its observer, its witness, and simply noticing what's moving through it as it's coated in light, in love, and in wisdom. And on this next exhale, we'll go ahead and we'll take the deepest breath that we've taken all day, and we'll breathe right into our belly space. We'll activate this cauldron, this powerful center from within us. And here we allow ourselves to fully arrive. the ego, the higher self, the multidimensional self throughout all time, space, layers, and dimensions. And here we'll take another moment to notice what we notice. How does it feel to be fully here? Can we offer ourselves compassion if the feeling isn't the most desirable feeling? Can we allow ourselves to navigate it, to be with it, without expecting it or needing it to change? Just noticing what we notice. And from this place of this group unified field that we have cultivated here between unconditional love, living infused wisdom, diamond light, as within, so without, as above, so below. Our invitation here is to acknowledge our breath, allowing ourselves to breathe naturally, and just noticing what is present through us as we inhale through the nose, and as we allow the exhalation to come through the mouth. As we become more aware of our feelings, maybe we say silently to ourselves, this feeling belongs. This wave is welcome. And here we allow any sensations in the body to be present without fixing them, without needing to change them. Even if those feelings or sensations is fear or anxiety or intensity, excitement or uncertainty, can we simply allow it to exist without needing to rush through it, without needing to numb it, distract it, or bypass it? And here we're going to invite in a little bit of breath work here. We'll slowly inhale through the nose for a count of 4. We'll pause gently for 1 count. And then we'll exhale through the mouth for 6 counts. And as we do this, the longer that our exhale becomes, the more that we are telling our nervous system that it is safe. So let's do this a couple times, breathing in for 4, pausing for 1, and exhaling through the mouth for 6. Inhaling for 4, pausing for 1, and exhaling for 6. Inhaling for 4, pausing for 1, and exhaling for 6. Just imagining that inhale as the rising wave of the experience. And imagining the exhale as the wave dissolving back into the ocean. And just allowing your body to soften from any tension, any constriction, any stress with each exhale. And on our next breath, let's go ahead and bring some awareness back into the heart center. We've been here before. And now we'll breathe in through the nose for 5 seconds. And we'll breathe out through the mouth for 5 seconds. An invitation on each breath is to imagine this golden field of light that exhales, that expands through your whole being. Inhaling for 5. Imagining that light covering your whole being and exhaling for 5. Just allowing yourself to be with whatever feelings are coming through. And as we acknowledge our shared humanity, we send out our compassion today. Maybe saying silently to ourselves or just setting the intention. May all beings feel free to feel their feelings. May all beings that are navigating storms feel held. May all beings throughout all time and all space feel peace, feel safety, feel ease, and feel freedom. And just consciously sending that out, that invocation of allowance for all of our shared humanity to feel peace, to acknowledge the emotional turbulence of our collective, and to send that peace out, emanating that peace through us back into our shared fabric of reality. And we like to close each session by sharing our energy with one another. So let's go ahead and we'll rub our hands together. And just tapping into that peace, that light, that love, and that wisdom that we generated, that we co-created, and then sharing it out into the space. On the count of 3, we'll blast this energy right into our temple space. 1, 2, 3. Feeling that love, feeling that wisdom, feeling that acceptance with what is, with compassion for ourselves, for one another, and then allowing ourselves to receive it, bringing it back into our vessel, into our body, maybe giving ourselves a little hug here as a way to show compassion for ourselves, display through physical touch, the act of showing compassion for ourselves, of giving ourselves compassion. And just taking one final breath together, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your compassion, your love, your peace into this group field of unity, of love. We get to emanate out through all layers, times, and spaces. For everyone that gets to watch the replay, may they feel this love, this wisdom, this light that we co-created, that we generated into the space. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your soulful Sunday. Sending you so much love. Namaste.